What do T-Rexes and Marvel villains have in common? A big head and little arms. If I said m.o.d.o.k to you, you might know who they are, which is honestly crazy. They're one of the weirdest Marvel characters with their kind of strange design, and today I'm going to be showing you the two different versions of Lego m.o.d.o.k as well as my custom version, so let's get into it. So one being from 2014, one from 2020, and I even made my own custom version last year. Each of the official versions has some positives and some negatives. The first one has that molded head, but the rest of it's kind of The middle one has some more detailed builds because it is more brick built, but it has stickers, which is a little bit of a negative factor for it. And I went ahead and I combined the two different versions here to make my custom one, which I think is the superior version, just to get a baseline for what the character's design is. This is the Marvel Legends m.o.d.o.k action figure. You can see that he is just that big head in a chair, and he has that sort of wavelength design there and a red sort of laser going around. You can see some different texturing and details, and it is all gold. Here's that first version of m.o.d.o.k from 2014 in an Avengers set. It's very funny to me that m.o.d.o.k is one of those first characters to get a Lego figure for Lego Marvel compared to any other Avengers bad guy. This figure is kind of weird. The head mold is honestly pretty good, but it is kind of limited by that little chest neck piece that you can kind of see there, which prevents it from being easily used in the Lego system. The chair part of this build is honestly pretty terrible, and I don't know in any version of this character he has a gray and black chair like that. The flames sticking out of the bottom look pretty good, but it has a dish at the bottom for some reason. I think just having the flames looks better and holds up the weight of the character on their own. And it is just a plain minifigure basically with a gold torso, purple legs and arms. Standout of this minifigure is for sure that head, just because the rest of it's pretty plain. Has great printing for all those details on the face, and the textured hair looks really great and has that brown printing on it too to make it a little bit more detailed. This 2014 version has the right colors, has that red laser, but misses out on that wavelength design. It does have texture on the back of the head though, which is a plus. But it just looks like a person sitting in the chair, and it doesn't seem like it is their body. Here's that 2020 version on the stand. It's a much bigger build, and they definitely went more forward into that brick-built type of design. Again, has a really great face print, but that is the only printed design on this figure. The laser piece there is a sticker, and it looks good and it's accurate. There is supposed to be a sticker here, and I do have one for it, but I want to wait to see if this 1x2 cheese slope might come in gold eventually, so I can use the sticker on that. The same sticker for that is on my custom version here. I think this is a good representation, and is a lot better than the other one, being a guy with a huge head in a robot suit versus just someone sitting on a chair like the original design. And this figure is honestly very well shaped. The pieces used are all around it, give it a very nice curved design. It has some gold thrusters or something on the bottom, and this clear pillar sort of piece, I added that just to display this a little bit better. Normally it is just flat on the ground. Also has those stud shooter rockets that could be used. I don't have the launchers in there right now, but it blends in pretty well. One of the downsides is that they use that dark tan instead of all gold, but it makes sense. Those pieces probably don't exist in gold or can't exist in gold because of structure reasons. But again, another great attempt. The 2020 version definitely gets some positives for having both that laser on the top as well as having a wavelength print if you put on that sticker. And the shaping and overall proportions are kind of there, but it does have gray and dark gray and a little bit of tan instead of just being all gold, which is a bit of a bummer. The hair doesn't have that weird texture that is present on most drawings of this character, but does have a decent look overall. This is one of those builds that I'm super proud of. I've already made a video on it before on my channel for the instructions. My main goal for this was getting it as compact as possible without many gaps, and using this head just because I do really like that piece. I think the printing on it is a lot better than using brick-built details because the hair on the second version is smooth and doesn't look as good. And this one obviously is that textured hair. I also made it so you can take off these rockets. They're not load-bearing or anything, so you can have them without any weapons or put those back on. I've seen different reference images where he has stuff like that. My version is the only one that has one of his control handle type of parts, I guess, where I use one of those gold guns. It's not attached, but it's kind of implied, and since those arms can only move up and down, you're not gonna give it any gaps where it looks like it's not connected. And I really went ahead and I added the best parts of both, with the original version having the head and using those minifigure legs. And on the 2020 version, I wanted to use the tiny arms with a sticker detail for that heart monitor type of wavelength. I also gave it the flame effect pieces at the bottom, which I got from that Marvel Legends figure I showed at the beginning. I thought it would be a cool look, and it is, and it holds it up and stays pretty sturdy. Another problem though with this one is that I couldn't get gold for everything, so I used that bright light orange. I thought it would be closer than yellow or plain orange, and I do think it sort of blends in. I do think it's better than using gray or dark gray. And going to my custom version, it's almost all gold, and if it isn't gold, it's a shade pretty close to it. We're using that 2014 head. So it's the best of both worlds, and I really think if you like m.o.d.o.k, you should go ahead and build mine. The instructions will be in the description. m.o.d.o.k is definitely one of those characters that has a couple of different interpretations throughout comics and media, and LEGO has provided some pretty decent templates for building your own designs. And because of having the limited articulation, it's important to have those expressions on the characters so you can still use them pretty easily in a dynamic sort of display. And I'd just like to give LEGO a bunch of thanks for giving us 2 versions of this really strange character, both of which have some really great aspects to them, really. And here's hoping that maybe with a certain trailer that came out, another version of m.o.d.o.k could be in LEGO in the next couple of years. Let me know in the comments which official version you like better, or if you think the custom version that I built is your favorite. And if you like what you saw today, don't forget to subscribe. I'm Brick Radiop, and I'll see you in the next video.